Let's talk about hubud. Okay, it's fun to do, it's great, it feels good, but what is up with all this pitter patter, tippity tappity stuff? That's not how fights go. How do you respond? Typically, you don't respond to online criticism about things, no. But if I were to ask you, how would you respond to such criticisms? What is
Yeah.
the value in drills with choreography, consent, compliance, and predictability?
And to go back to what you mentioned earlier, a lot of times I don't reply to stuff online because I know that a lot of people that ask the questions aren't sincerely interested in the answer.
Right.
And so I prefer to, I enjoy answering the questions, but for people that actually want to know what that answer is. And for that particular question, it's a drill platform, right? So whenever you learn any martial art, you learn the specifics of a technique. That's what the platform is used for. So I'm using a drill platform to learn how to do a specific technique. That could be a takedown, a disarm, a counter strike, movement to another proximity. So it's a platform that's just used to train other techniques, right? So if you look at it as, well, this is supposed to mimic a fight, you're kind of missing the picture. Every art learns techniques, and they learn it in different format, and it's just a more fluid and dynamic way to learn those techniques, because you're timing it out of a moving pattern rather than someone just, okay, deliver a stab, boom, and now it's just a very predictable movement. You're learning from a little bit more of a dynamic platform. And that's why we call them actually platforms,
Right.
because you're just using it as a base, a platform to learn other things.
So there is a way to train it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. If you're training it and with the understanding that that's how the fight is actually going to look, then yeah, that's wrong. There may be bits and pieces of it that will be in a fight. For example, in that particular drill you mentioned, there's an overhand stabbing movement.
Right.
The most common attack with a knife in that reverse grip is an overhand stabbing movement. So there's bits and pieces that may resemble what you might encounter in a fight.
Right.
But the entirety of it, when you deal with an attack such as that, is not to make it use an energy that is recounterable, which is the idea of a flow. You're actually going to use a completely different energy. So you might use the initial movement, but then the follow-up energy is going to always be different. What we call finishing energy, or panapos is the term that we use.
But even within the framework of using it as a platform, it's very difficult to go at the kind of energy that one would identify as being quote unquote realistic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? We're still doing it at a level that isn't full force. Can we?
You can add up the energy levels and up the intensity levels. You can, it's not going to still not resemble, and you can actually go up to full energy with the
Right.
drills. You can actually do that, but it's within the context of the drill still. So it's not going to vary from the drill like a real fight would.
Right.
But energy levels, intensities, like how hard you're delivering attacks and whatnot, you can increase that to an actual realistic level of energy,
Right.
but understanding that the follow-up is going to be different.
So if we're doing this drill for hours and hours and hours, and what actually transpires in a real fight is a fraction of that practice, why not just drill that fraction more?
One of the reasons why is it can become very boring, right? So if I go to a martial arts class and someone's just delivering this attack to me and I counter it, and then I got to get another repetition, I counter it,
Right.
it's not really engaging. And so a lot of times for me, I find the flow drills are a very mentally engaging way to get that repetition that you need. You need repetition, right, to get good at any physical skill set. It's a given. So it's just a more fun
Right.
and engaging way to get that repetition without just a boring strike, reset, which if you get sufficient repetition like that, then you're going to learn something, but it's just a more engaging way to do that. So in a short period of time, you're getting a ton of repetition and don't even realize how many repetitions you're getting.
Right. And I don't think I would like to attend regularly scheduled classes where we're going at 100% doing the same low line thrust defense to the same
Exactly.
high line bisecting line defense.
Yeah.